Chairs No Waiting, episode number 460, Mayberry Days Trivia 2017, round 2, championship. Two Chairs No Waiting is brought to you every week by the good folks over at weaversdepartmentstore.com. Head over to Weavers and check things out. Hey, it's championship football season right now, whether you're in college or professional. So head over and get a Mayberry banner. You need a Mayberry pennant to hang up at your house. Or maybe if you don't like that, you can get a slingshot from Opie and shoot down the balls and stuff as they're going. Whichever you'd like, head over to weaversdepartmentstore.com. Two Chairs No Waiting is also brought to you by donations from listeners just like you. The executive producer tonight, Kenneth Junkin. Yay! Kenneth Junkin. Ken Junkin is the guy who comes up with all these trivia questions, so I want to thank him. Folks, I am Alan Newsom, your host for Two Chairs No Waiting, and it is always great to be here in Mayberry with you. I'm looking forward to tonight's show. Now, it has been since September, so it is now January, and we did round one, the round one episode of the Two Chairs No Waiting trivia here for Mayberry Days. It was called Mayberry Days Trivia 2017 round 1. That was back on October the 3rd. Now that was a big anniversary for the Andy Griffith Show, obviously there. So our anniversary, but we have not done round 2, the championship round, but I thought it was only fitting tonight as I record this. It's a Monday night and the NCAA football national championship game is being played this evening. So I thought this was a great time to do the championship of Mayberry Trivia. Now, the trivia is different, if you'll remember from the last time. How we do it at Mayberry Days is different. So the round 2 trivia questions are not quite as hard as the championship trivia used to be. Because in the actual game, when you're actually playing it now, the trivia, you play it like Jeopardy or like Bible trivia, where you're competing against a team and you have a little button and you have to mash it. So the first person to mash the button gets a chance to answer. Now that's not how we're going to play tonight, but we are going to play it similarly. So I want you to get a pencil and a piece of paper so that you can write down your totals, because here's what we're going to do. Round 1, we're going to have round 1 questions, and each question in round 1 is worth 100 points. Okay. Everybody ready? And then round 2 will be worth 200. And then the final round, you'll take the total number of points you had, and you can bet up to that number. So if you have 100 points, you can bet 100 points. If you have 1,000 points, you can bet 1,000. Okay. And then if you get it right, you double your points or you lose. Okay. So remember, here's what we're going to try to do. Okay. So as you guess, try to keep up, because if you guess, you don't have to guess each question, but if you guess a question and you get it wrong, you should take off the correct number of points. So round 1, it'll be minus 100 if you do it. Okay. All right. So that's how you're going to do it. So you're going to count plus 200 if you get it right, or 100 if you get it right, and minus 100 if you get it wrong in round 1. So everybody got it. Everybody ever watch this show? There's some show on TV that's similar to this. I don't know if it's copyrighted to talk about it. But it's a cool show. It's got these blue blocks on the screen that's got numbers on them, and it's got cool yeah, there's neat music. So this is kind of what this is like. So you ready? Let's get some music going, though. Not that music. There we go. The VW boys, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you to the VW boys for letting us use this music. Great guys, by the way. Always at Mayberry Days. I love them. All right, guys. Are you ready? Before we start, don't forget, following this, we're going to have Randy Turner's This Week in Mayberry History. He's back for 2018, so we're glad. So let's go ahead and show you here round 2, the championship round from 2017's Mayberry Days Trivia. Question number 1. Everybody ready? Remember, it's 100 points. So here's the first question. According to Andy, what's responsible for Mount Pilot's rapid growth? Okay, according to Andy, what was responsible for Mount Pilot's rapid growth? So you can choose to answer, and if you get it correct, you get 100 points. If you don't answer, you're good. Okay, but if you answer and get it wrong, you got to take off 100 points. So everybody ready? Got your pencil? So, according to Andy, what was responsible for Mount Pilot's rapid growth? The answer is pulp mill. It was a pulp mill. That's from episode 160. Okay? There was a pulp mill in Mount Pilot, and that led to its rapid growth. If you got it right and you got the pulp mill, now that's a, wood pulp, P-U-L-P, not puppies, pulp, P-U-L-P. Okay, so that's the first answer. Ooh, this is going to be a hard one. All right, championship round, question number 2 from round 1. Here we go. So keep up with your score. What is Opie's football jersey number? What is Opie's football jersey number? Okay. All right, folks in the chat room are going, I've never heard of it. Don't know what I'm talking about. What was Opie's football jersey number? The answer. Pause if you don't want to get the answer yet. Remember, if you get it wrong, you got to take 100 points off. Here is the answer. Opie's football jersey number was number 14. That's from episode number 100 of the Andy Griffith Show. Okay. So did you get it right? That's worth 100 points if you got it. 100 points. If you got it wrong, it's minus 100. Okay. All right. Question 3. Whom does Andy blame for his boat sinking with himself, Barney, and Henry Bennett at the opening day of the fishing tournament? Okay. Those are who was in it. Whom does Andy blame for his boat sinking along with himself, Barney, and Henry Bennett at the opening day fishing sweepstakes? Who does he blame? Whom does Andy blame? This is question number 3. And the answer is, who does Andy blame for the boat sinking? Early Gilly. It's episode number 49 of the Andy Griffith Show. Andy blamed Early Gilly. He didn't blame Henry. Could have been he skimped on the chalk, maybe, or not chalk, caulk. All right. All right, number 3. Here we go, or 4. Number 4. Name the 2 people Barney thinks may replace him as a soloist in the Mayberry Choir. Ooh, you got to get them both. 2 people. Don't get half points for this, okay? 2 people. Name the 2 people that Barney thinks may replace him as a soloist in the Mayberry Choir. Oh, these are hard. Folks in the chat room are down 100 already, minus 100. The answer of who Barney thinks would replace him in the Mayberry Choir. Pause if you'd like to think about it a little more, but here's the answer. Morton Downey and Kenny Baker. That's from episode 116. Morton Downey and Kenny Baker. That's who Barney thinks might replace him. Okay, let's move along. Question number 5. How many games of skeet ball did Barney and his cousin Virgil play while vacationing in Raleigh? Ooh. How many games of skeet ball did Barney and his cousin Virgil play while vacationing in Raleigh? Oh, man. Do you want to guess or just go? Number 5, this is the answer. It's worth 100 points if you get it right, minus 100 if you get it wrong. The answer is 4. They played 4 games of skeet when he was vacationing in Raleigh. All right. Number 6. Now, these are from the championship round of 2017 Mayberry Trivia. Number 6. How many mints did Gomer buy in the Pearson's Sweet Shop Peppermint Contest? Okay. How many mints did Gomer buy in the Pearson's Sweet Shop Peppermint Contest? How many did he buy? Okay, this is Gomer. Folks in the chat room are saying they're inept. You're not inept because I'm pretty sure all of us are having the same problem. These are still hard. Now, the champions got these things right. Okay, and we're buzzing in trying to get it right first. How many mints did Gomer say that he bought, or how many did he buy? The answer, number 6, is, remember, it's worth 100 if you get it right, minus 100 if you're wrong. He bought 22. 22. Goodness. That was episode 110, by the way. So he bought 22 mints. Okay, number 7. Number 7. Here we go. Name Ramona Ancrum's grandfather, and what year did he come down from the hills and burn down the town of Mayberry? Oh, this is a good one. So, number 7. This is round 1, Mayberry Days Championship Trivia 2017. Name Ramona Ancrum's grandfather, and name the year he came down from the hills and burned down the town of Mayberry. So you need to get them both. You'll feel proud if you just get one right. Okay. All right. The answers. There's two parts of this. Ramona Ancrum's grandfather's name was Rotten Ray Ancrum, and he came down to the town of Mayberry in 1870. So it was Ray Ancrum in 1870 was when he came down and burned down the town of Mayberry. Okay. Remember that. All right. So there you go. Number 8. That was worth 100 points, by the way. Number 8. Why doesn't Barney like to eat in the drugstore? Why doesn't Barney like to eat over at the drugstore? Okay. Not going to give you a long time on this. So the answer is it's worth 100 points. This is our last 100-point question. Why doesn't Barney like to eat in the drugstore? Because everything tastes like medicine. Episode number 117. That's why he doesn't like to eat in the drugstore. So there you go. Barney doesn't like to eat in the drugstore because everything tastes like medicine. Yuck. All right, so that was round 1. Total up your numbers. You got 100 points for every question you got right, minus 100 for everyone you got wrong. The chat room is in the negatives, it looks like. So how are you doing against the chat room? Now, some of you guys may be the actual champions from Mayberry Days, so it's not really a fair thing, but I hope you're having a good time. These are questions that are hard, but believe it or not, they're not as hard as they used to be. And the champions at the Mayberry Days Championship Trivia actually got these right. Amazing. Number 9. Number 9 will be our first question that is 200 points. Okay, so I'm seeing everything from our leader right now seems to be at minus 200 in the chat room. Nope, there's a minus 100. Did anybody just not try to answer any? Yes, Indiana Steve is in the lead with 0 points in the chat room. So how are you doing? Our leader has 0 because he didn't try to answer anything. So good job, Steve. You are the leader in our chat room. How are you doing out there listening? So don't feel bad. These are tough. Round 2. Your points continue into this round. So you start out with whatever your current total is. So if you're at minus 100, you're starting off at a minus 100. But every question is worth 200 points from here for the next several questions here. All right, so number 9 is our first 200-point question, and here is the question. How many flapjacks does Gomer eat for lunch when he drives Thelma Lou to Mount Pilot for her dental appointment? Got that little girl right in my hip pocket. How many flapjacks, that's pancakes, does Gomer eat for lunch when he drives Thelma Lou to Mount Pilot for her dental appointment? All right. Okay, it's worth 200 points. And it's also worth minus 200 if you get it wrong. How many did he eat? How many did Gomer eat? Okay, flapjacks. The answer is he ate 6. 6 flapjacks. Oh, Howard Spray got it right. And Emmett. There's several people getting it right in the chat room. So that's worth 200 points to everybody who got that right. Congratulations. The game is afoot now. All right. Number 10, also worth 200 points. The question, what is Aunt Nora's friend's Racine's last name? Aunt Nora has a friend. Remember Aunt Nora? What is Aunt Nora's friend Racine's last name? Okay. Aunt Nora. Andy's Aunt Nora. What is Aunt Nora's friend Racine? What's her last name? Okay, here we go. The answer to number 10 is worth 200 points, ladies and gentlemen. 200 points. The answer is Tyler. Tyler is her answer. That's worth 200 points. Give yourself 200 points if you got it right. I keep seeing some people in the chat room getting this. They're on the move. They're on the move. They're trying to catch up with Steve, and they may have passed him in the chat room. So how are you doing as you're playing? I don't know if I got these right. All right, number 11, also worth 200 points. What is Tate Fletcher's wife's name? What is Tate Fletcher's wife's name? Okay, you remember that? What is Tate Fletcher's wife's name? Oh, that's a hard one. It's a hard one. Here's the answer. Tate Fletcher's wife's name is Cornelia. That's from episode 70. Episode 70. I have the episode numbers on all these answers, by the way. I may not have read them all, but I do have them. All right, so Cornelia was the answer for number 11. Tate Fletcher's wife's name is Cornelia. Episode number 70. Number 12, also worth 200 points. Here we go, 200 points. Nat Pike told Opie that a penny that's been hit by lightning is worth how much? Nat Pike told Opie that a penny that's been hit by lightning is worth how much? The answer is, if you're ready, this is worth 200 points answer. The answer is a penny struck by lightning is worth 6 cents. 6 cents. That's right. Worth 200 points. Give yourself 200 if you got it right. So that was number 12. Good job, those that got it right. A penny hit by lightning is worth 6 cents, according to Nat Pike. All right, number 13. Number 13. Here we go. In what year did the Green River Ordinance occur in the town of Green River? Oh, you know, they said that in this episode, and I have no idea. In what year did the Green River Ordinance occur in the town of Green River? Oh, I don't know. Excuse me. In what year did the Green River Ordinance occur in the town of Green River? All right, here's the answer. These are hard. These are difficult. But this is the championship round of trivia from Mayberry Days. The answer of what year did the Green River Ordinance occur in the town of Green River was 1924. 1924. That's from episode number 33. Can't be going around selling vacuum cleaners in Green River. All right. All right. So this is number 14. Number 14. I think we have 2 questions left before the final, maybe. I'm not sure. Number 14. Here we go. How many minutes does Otis like his eggs to be boiled? How many minutes does Otis like his eggs to be boiled? How many minutes? I don't think it's as long as Opie boils his. But how many minutes? How many minutes does Otis like his eggs to be boiled? The answer is 4 minutes. 4-minute eggs is what he likes. It's from episode number 55 of the Andy Griffith Show. So Otis likes to have his eggs boiled for 4 minutes. Number 15. Number 15. Here we go. Number 15. What instrument does Floyd play in the Mayberry Band? Now, surely all of you can get this one. It's going to hurt me. This is worth 200 points, by the way. What instrument does Floyd play in the Mayberry Band? This one, I actually have, I got an answer. I actually have this one. You know, the bad part is I wrote these trivia questions down and I don't remember the answers. I knew this one already. What instrument does Floyd play in the Mayberry Band? You can't just throw out a founder. You can't just kick him out like that. All right. So what does he play? He plays the trombone. Of course he does. The trombone. That's from episode number 72, the Mayberry Band, I believe is the right episode name. All right. So there we have it. All right, gentlemen and ladies. Excuse me. All right. Now, prepare yourself. Add them up. That was the last of our 200 points questions. Add up your point total. Hopefully you have a positive point total, because it's hard to bet negative money. We're not running a bank. We can't loan money. So this is the final round of the Championship of Mayberry Trivia. Everybody got to bid on how much that they thought that they could, how much that they could afford to bet. We didn't, I can give you, like they do on Jeopardy, the topic for this question that's going to be in our final Jeopardy round, or our final round, is the Andy Griffith Show. Okay, so I know that narrowed it down. So here we go. The final question, worth however many points that you bet. Okay, so you can bet it all or you can bet none of it and you might win. Mainly, I hope you had a good time. Here's the question. It's number 16. Question number 16. Here is the question. Where did George Watkins propose to Howard Sprague's mother? Oh my goodness. I hope I didn't bet anything. Where did George Watkins propose to Howard Sprague's mother? Oh my goodness. I could help you out and say this is a color episode because it's Howard Sprague's mother's in it. No, it's not multiple choice. People in the chat room are wanting, can we do an essay question? No, it has to be just the answer. Where was it that George Watkins proposed to Howard Sprague's mother? Okay. Oh, I hope you didn't bet a lot because I don't know if you know it. Folks, write down your answer. You got your bet written down, and here is the answer. If you want to think about it longer, you can pause, but here it comes. Where did George Watkins propose to Howard Sprague's mother? At Morelli's Restaurant. That was from episode number 246 of the Andy Griffith Show. So there you go. There's the answer. I don't know how you guys did. I don't think I'd have done too well because I think I only got a 200-point question correct. So it was Morelli's Restaurant. They were over at Morelli's, is where George Watkins proposed to Mrs. Sprague. So how did you do? Let's see how the chat room is saying they did. The chat room, nobody's admitting how they did. So I know everybody did a little bit better in round 2, so congratulations. You got some of the questions right. Mainly, again, I hope you had a good time and it was fun. The trivia questions at Mayberry Days are like these. And actually, in the final rounds here, they can actually be a little easier. And so in the coming years, they might not be quite as hard as this, because it also involves being able to buzz in, because you got to click it and click your clicker. We've had controversy throughout. Wow, Colin's got 1,600 points. Good job, Colin. Now, Colin was at Mayberry Days, so maybe he just remembers. I didn't remember, so I'm not going to say he did. But we've had controversy because people worry that their button doesn't work as fast as other people's buttons and all kinds of stuff. But I can assure you, I am the one that controls the device, and it's sitting right over here behind me, actually. Weaver's Department Store purchased the device. So Weaver's Department Store is the one that brings you the Mayberry Days Trivia at Mount Airy, Mayberry Days, along with the Hearty-Eating Men and Beautiful Delicate Women, Kenneth Junkin and his crew, that helped come up with these questions. And folks, we hope we make it fun at Mayberry Days. But again, it is the championship of Mayberry Days Trivia, so it's got to be a little bit hard. So I hope you liked it. Now, folks, we are not finished. No, we're not, because this is a new year, 2018. But luckily for us, Randy Turner has agreed to continue his amazing Mayberry History reports. And so I am very glad to have our first Mayberry History, This Week in Mayberry History report from Randy Turner for 2018. I guess this is the second one, because last week was technically the first episode of the year, but I recorded it early. So anyway, this is his second one for this year, I suppose. But thank you, Randy, for doing this. And Randy, take it away.
Welcome to This Week in Mayberry History, a report by Special Correspondent Randy Turner of the Gomer and Cooper Pyle Comic Book Literary Guild of the Mayberry Historical Society.
Danny Thomas was born on January the 6th, 1912, into a large family headed by Lebanese immigrant parents. From truly humble beginnings, Danny became a popular entertainer and one of the first television moguls. Growing up in Toledo, Ohio, Danny helped support his family, working as a candy maker at a burlesque theater at the age of 11, a job he continued doing for 7 years. In 1932, Danny began performing on radio in Detroit under an anglicized version of his Lebanese birth name. He met his future wife and they married 4 years later. With his first child on the way, who was eventually known to the world as Marlo Thomas, and struggling to make a living in entertainment, Danny famously prayed for guidance in front of a statue of St. Jude, asking for a sign as to what he should do, and promising to build a shrine to the saint for guidance. In less than a year, Danny had moved to Chicago, where he was making $500 a week as a nightclub entertainer. Not wanting his friends and family to know he was working nightclubs, where the salary was better, he came up with the pseudonym Danny Thomas by using the first names of two of his brothers. One of those brothers, Tom, was often seen later as a background actor in Mayberry. Danny first reached mass audiences on network radio in the 1940s, most famously as a supporting player in the Baby Snooks show. In 1952, he starred in the remake of the original 1927 film, The Jazz Singer. His big break in television came as the star of his own series, Make Room for Daddy, beginning in 1953. The show was based on his real-life struggle to see his family as much as he wanted while having to travel as a nightclub entertainer. After 3 seasons, the show's title was changed to The Danny Thomas Show. Shortly after that, Danny also became an executive producer for the first time, serving as one of the producers of The Real McCoys. In February of 1960, an episode of The Danny Thomas Show served as a pilot for the series that became known as The Andy Griffith Show, a series in which Danny was part owner and an executive producer, along with his frequent collaborator, Sheldon Leonard. Danny and Andy Griffith were both extremely talented, but different in personality. Early in the run of the show, Danny approached Andy in the CBS commissary and jokingly, but still patronizingly, called Andy his little moneymaker. Andy was not amused and stopped taking his meals in the commissary as a result. Beginning in 1961, Danny also produced, again with Sheldon Leonard, The Dick Van Dyke Show, though he continued to act and even direct occasionally. He appeared in series such as Get Smart and his daughter's series That Girl, and starred in a sequel to his own show called Make Room for Granddaddy. He directed 35 episodes of The Danny Thomas Show, an episode of its sequel, and episodes of other series he produced, such as The Bill Dana Show. But he continued to produce, and in the latter part of his career, he worked as a producer even more often. After the enormous success of The Real McCoys, The Andy Griffith Show, and The Dick Van Dyke Show, Danny produced many other series, films, and TV movies, including The Mod Squad and The Over the Hill Gang. Danny passed away in 1991, but his legacy includes not only an impressive career of entertainment acting and production that included being instrumental in the creation of The Andy Griffith Show, but the establishment of the St. Jude Research Hospital in Memphis in fulfillment of his vow, an institution whose philosophy is that no child will be turned away from care, regardless of race, religion, or ability to pay. That's it for this week. Thanks for listening, and remember to take Andy's advice and go out there and act like somebody.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Randy, for that amazing report. Danny Thomas, big part of the Andy Griffith Show, obviously, and getting it started. Folks, you do not want to miss This Week in Mayberry History. Randy also publishes a weekly version of this now in the Gomer and Goober Pyle Comic Book Literary Guild. And since it's weekly on Facebook, that's kind of hard to make sure you get. So make sure you send Randy an email at turnersgrade@gmail.com, and he'll sign you up so that you get an email every time he posts a new This Week in Mayberry History there at the Gomer and Goober Pyle Comic Book Literary Guild. turnersgrade@gmail.com. Folks, I want to thank you for being here. I hope you had a good time with the trivia. I know you had a good time listening to Randy's story about Danny Thomas. I know you did. It's always great to be with you here in Mayberry, and I want to hear from you. Give me a call at 888-684-8415. You can also head over to twochairsnowaiting.com and hit the contact button. All kinds of ways to contact me. I want to hear from you. Did you get any cool Mayberry stuff for Christmas? If you did, I'd love to hear from you. I got some cool things like this jacket that I'm wearing, which you can barely see if you're on the video. It's got Floyd the Barber on it. It's awesome. I also got a Tinkerbell Hallmark ornament that she actually signed. If you got stuff like that, send me the email. Let's show it on the show. People would love to see it. Folks, until next time, have a great week.